about how companies operate in a sustainable and ethical manner, mindful of the impact not only of the economy, but also to the society and environment as a whole. And thus, when a company minimizes the environmental impact of its operations in a fishing village in an ASEAN member state, it ensures not only the health and well-being of the people, but also serve to protect their livelihood. When the company respects the local culture and indigenous practices of a local community in an ASEAN member state, it ensures that the identity and way of life of these ASEAN peoples are valued and preserved. When the company has local employees and uses locally sourced material in an ASEAN member state, it shares the economic benefits and contribute to the local economy. Achieved in part through the CSR practices, having healthy people, pursuing gainful livelihoods, preserving cultures, and sustaining local economies are, in essence, the very same goals of the people-oriented, people-centered ASEAN community. Incorporations replicate the CSR practices in all ASEAN member states. And ASEAN is moving closer to achieving our 2015 goals. And when companies pursue corporate social responsibility, they become real partners in building the ASEAN community. On sustainable agriculture in ASEAN, agriculture is a high priority area for ASEAN operation, with 27% of ASEAN's total land area devoted to agriculture and 50% of ASEAN population dependent on it for their livelihood. With such important place in the ASEAN economic community, there is greater impetus to ensure that agricultural production remains the engine of economic growth in almost all ASEAN countries. And how this can be done? First, we should focus on the plight of farmers who are at the heart of the agricultural sector. Lack of access to natural resources, capital, education, and infrastructure are among the many challenges that they are facing. As part of the rural poor targeted by the Millennium Development Goals, it is necessary that CSR imbue corporate investment in the agricultural sector, expand the access for opportunities for ASEAN farmers. Secondly, we should also ensure that agricultural production in ASEAN is sustainable. Sustainable agriculture with more systematic approach will preserve and restore natural resources and increase the resilience of farming systems. When companies pursue farming practices and methods that are profitable, environmentally sound, and beneficial for communities, the CSR practices have sustained our farmers' resources and communities. On ASEAN's part, we have promoted sustainable agriculture through the implementation of key programs and activities. And I can mention number one, the adoption of the ASEAN Good Agricultural Practices as a voluntary standard in 2006, as part of our effort for sustainable management of land-based resources in the region. This covers food safety, product quality, environmental management, as well as workers' health, safety, and welfare. And number two, the promotion of ASEAN animal husbandry practices and ASEAN aquaculture practices to ensure that the products are safe for all consumers in the region and will contribute to better trade and sustainable development of these subsectors. Number three, initiative to develop the ASEAN standard of organic agriculture. And number four, endorsement of the ASEAN criteria and indicators for sustainable management of tropical forests and the monitoring, assessment, and reporting format for sustainable forest management in ASEAN. And lastly, number 5, implementation of strategic measures related to fisheries sector outlined in the ASEAN blueprints and the IER work plan. Sustainable agriculture is further linked to ASEAN's effort on environmental sustainability and food security. In the ASEAN Declaration on Environmental Sustainability, we are committed to strengthening cooperation over a wide range of activities, including highlighting the issue of conservation and sustainable management of natural resources. Through the ASEAN Integrated Food Security Framework, we are committed to attain long-term food security, strengthen our agricultural sector, and improve the livelihood of the farmers in our region. Ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN has adopted the necessary guidelines and standards as well as promoted the application of sustainable agricultural practices in the region. In turn, ASEAN is encouraging cooperation to incorporate these sustainable practices in their agricultural ventures. In so doing, corporations that conduct business anchored by strong CSR principles and values are able to contribute significantly to ASEAN's more encompassing goals of poverty alleviation, food security, and environmental sustainability. Corporations that conduct business by embracing its corporate social responsibility become valuable partners in building a people-oriented, people-centered ASEAN community that we are striving to achieve by 2015. And before I take leave of you, I would like to make a special mention of appreciation to Mark Lim for his leadership and vigor in the last 3 years in the Executive Director of the ASEAN Foundation. Despite the challenges faced by the Foundation, Mark Lim's leadership has enhanced the Foundation's visibility, helped to promote greater awareness of ASEAN. I would like to mention here that it is one of the challenges that we are facing. We have conducted a survey, and as only that was done half a year ago, and when we was only 2.5 years away from the deadline of achieving immunity, the survey found out that in even the capital cities of ASEAN, the big cities of ASEAN, 81% of the population, the respondents, indicated that they heard the name of ASEAN, but among them, up to 76% lacked a very basic understanding of what ASEAN is all about. So we thank Mark Lim for his leadership. His contribution to the ASEAN community building process is truly appreciated. Thank you all. I wish you a fruitful discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good day to everybody. Okay, now we come to the part. Well, my presentation would be just giving you an idea, a snapshot on ASEAN and our vision of ASEAN CSR Vision 2020. I will start off by giving you a little bit of a background on the state of CSR and responsible business in ASEAN. I think the first point is that ASEAN is not homogeneous. There is varying frameworks, varying forms of government in ASEAN. In ASEAN, we have ranged from absolute monarchy, one-party state, with states that have regular elections. And therefore, even the frameworks are different in ASEAN. There are some good laws, but in some countries, the good laws are there, but enforcement levels varies, and therefore, also we look at philanthropy and charity as the main framework definition of CSR in ASEAN. And the third building block is to coordinate regional collective action, and because of this collective action and programs, we will get CSR implemented, embedded, and mainstream. So you'll ask, why 2020? Actually, 2020 is when we got a clear vision. Normally people can see clear vision 2020 after the event. After it happens, we all got clear 2020 vision. But here we are trying to get clear vision of 2020 before. Because 2015 is just 2 years from now. You can't do very much in 2 years. But if you have a longer vision, is better. And not only that, 2020 is not, 2015 is not when the ASEAN community vision ends. It is a target, and it goes beyond 2015. And 2015 on is the new beginning. So I think we will have to say this is a road, and 2020 is what we achieve it. And what are we trying to do in trying to achieve in 2020 in trying to bridge the knowledge gap? I think there is a priority. We must concentrate on the lowest per capita income countries in ASEAN.
Network, we also need collective action. We need collective action that is inclusive, we get everybody in. And I think we have to think of the ASEAN as well. Do we want an ASEAN that's prosperous, which is inclusive, which is sustainable growth, or do we want an ASEAN which has problems? I think all of us want a positive outcome. And for that thing, I wish that we will have good outcome of today's discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. We now would like to invite on stage our keynote speaker, Mr. Effendi Jamin, who is a representative of Indonesia to the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights. Pak Effendi, thank you very much for joining us.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to congratulate ASEAN CSR Network and ASEAN Foundation for conducting this forum on responsible business conduct in ASEAN, focusing on sustainable agriculture. This is part of a great initiative from the business sector operating in ASEAN countries to be proactive, engaging themselves with ASEAN and various stakeholders in pursuing their commitment to respect human rights, social and environmental sustainability while gaining profit margin. I therefore would like to express my gratitude and appreciation to be invited in this forum. As Indonesian representative of the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, or ICHR, it's a difficult word, ICHR. Some says ICHR, but let's say ICHR. But if you are from the Indian origin, then it will be Acha. That's fine, as long as you understand it. Indonesia and Singapore, representative of ICHR, are the ones that taking lead on the ICHR's current priority human rights issues on business and human rights. So following up what has been said by SG Min, there has been a lot of sectoral bodies mentioned and involved in the action line of CSR, like SOCA, SOMSWAP, and now this is ICHR. I am here as ICHR, as a part of the new friend within the ASEAN families, to be part of your movement. The ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights was established in 2009 as a consultative body of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, the ASEAN, on matters pertaining to the human rights in ASEAN. The existence of ICHR now illustrates the strong commitment that ASEAN is willing to pursue in promoting and protecting human rights in our region. Human rights, after all, is an integral part of ASEAN community building. Some articles in the charters, 1.7, 2.2, and the section A, 1.5, for example, emphasize the importance ASEAN gives to human rights. The collective irresponsible business conduct of these economic actors are equally damaging to the similar conduct carried out by their largest counterparts. Moreover, in order to create a critical mass on the support toward the implementation of the UNGP in this region, the demonstration of real impact of irresponsible corporate conduct must be intensified. Studies on the subject must be encouraged, whilst the dissemination of information on the issue, especially through the media, should be improved. And organizing this work of multi-stakeholders on responsible business and conduct in agriculture sector today is one way to do it. This forum will address common challenges and issues that governments, corporations, NGO, academic, trade union in addressing poverty eradication and fulfilling development gap to ensure sustainability. Another key challenge that ASEAN and its member states must address in the mainstreaming of business human rights agenda in their political, economic, and socio-cultural policy. Whilst this would require major institutional reforms of ASEAN and its modus operandi, recent development to address the issue in the region is a positive step toward that direction. Thank you.
I'd like to first to call on the moderator for our panel discussion. The moderator is Professor Eugene Tan, Associate Professor of Law at Singapore Management University, and also a Management Committee member of the Singapore Compact Institute.
We have an excellent panel. Very different countries, very different perspectives, and I hope that all of us will be able to get across these different viewpoints and perspectives, and at the same time also try to generate further critical thought and ideas from the floor. I think it's very important that we use this opportunity to share insights. I think ASEAN, as Mr. Thomas points out in his presentation, is a very complex region characterized by diversity. But I think given that diversity, I think it is also important that we try to arrive at some sense of shared values. Because when I look at the ASEAN Charter, when I look at the vision for ASEAN, there is a shared purpose. We are very clear what the governments are very clear what the shared purpose is. The question is, how do we get to this shared purpose? And I think shared values provide an important way, because it tells us how we're going to get up to the top of the mountain. Are we going to abandon people along the way, or are we going to say that all of us are going to go up together? And the role of CSR, if I can put it this way, is critical, right? Because I think for the first time it recognizes the role that civil society can play. It recognizes the role that the business community can play. And I think that in a way would help to make ASEAN a more people-centric organization. So without further ado, I'll invite maybe they've all been geared towards the order in which they appear on the program. Okay, so I'll ask Patrick to begin first.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, ASEAN Foundation and the ASEAN CSR Network to organize this important seminar that we all can come and share with you. I come from the Thai Listed Company Association. The member of the association are companies that listed on the stock exchange of Thailand and the market for alternative investment. There are two boards of the listed company in Thailand. We now have about 470 companies as members. And in 2009, member of the association found the CSR Club. So it's about 30 companies that are members of the Thai Listed Company Association. Think that CSR is part of the corporate agenda. It's important. So 30 companies sat together and decide that they should work together in promoting the awareness of CSR among the listed companies in Thailand. This year, we organized the conference just 2 weeks ago together with the CSR, the ASEAN CSR Network, on the ASEAN CSR roadmap. We want to increase the awareness for the Thai companies that because now many companies are already doing business overseas, especially in the ASEAN market. They want the Thai company to aware that what are the practice in other countries and also to share the knowledge among the ASEAN countries. I think this is the key for us, CSR Club of the Thai Listed Company Association, that we are joined with the ASEAN CSR network.
Presentation on the situation in Vietnam. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chair, and good morning, everybody. My name is Lee. I'm the director of the Office for Business Sustainable Development of Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry. BCCI in Vietnam, we represent the legal interests of the private sector, or the internal and external relations, and we are having about 10,000 corporate members, including also 300 big business associations in Vietnam. I myself has been embarking on the sustainability journey of corporate social responsibility for more than 10 years, since 1999, when we worked with the Prince of Wales International Business Leader Forum, GIZ, at that time GTZ before, and a number of other multi-stakeholder partner to focus on improving working conditions in a number of sectors in Vietnam. And from the occupational health and safety project, which has been conducting since 1999, we are now expanding to many other sectors. So for the first time, we call the first corporate social responsibility project has been approved and implemented successfully in Vietnam.